Be the change. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. It says on the card over there. I think life begins when you experience presence. Everything changes when you experience presence. Everything becomes peaceful. Everything becomes understandable. Everything becomes joyous, easier. Life becomes easier, more comprehensible, or what's it called? Putting some time in to quiet the mind. Make a decision. I want to experience that. If I don't like it, I can always go back and think all the time if I want to. But if I'm not able to not think for 5 minutes, then maybe there is a thinking problem. Not a drinking problem, a thinking problem. Maybe I'm addicted to the thinking. I have a thinking problem. Unless, of course, you can tune it out every so often. And you're aware that you are constantly thinking. And you're aware that that whole bubble of thoughts is just thoughts. And you, precious being, wasting a lot of time there, hopping around, getting drawn into all the drama, reacting to everything that's going on around, reacting to other people and your own thoughts, assuming. It makes for a scary place where there's so many possibilities. It could be this or that, and maybe it's that, or probably this or that, and there's a lot of judgment in there. And it always just leads back to fear. And so, if you spend just a little bit of time figuring out, how can I quiet the mind? You can read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Listen to it on YouTube for free. But I do recommend listen to it when he is reading it. Find the version where he is reading it. And it'll take you right into presence. No problems, just situations every so often that you have to deal with it. We all have archetypes within us. Sometimes I notice that my wounded inner child is hopping out and I say something or do something, or sometimes I notice that different parts of me is hopping out and showing its face in my life, which is another way that you can also see where you're at. What kind of wounds or what kind of reactions or what kind of challenges do you have that you can better your experience here on planet Earth if you knew about it. So we have a rebel, and light attributes is challenges authority to effect social change. Rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. Spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs are just stories for the mind. It has nothing to do with living like Jesus. It has nothing to do with like becoming more of God. It's just stories. Because unless you do the inner work and tend to the inner needs, there's no change. There's no work being done. Shadow attributes. Rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. Mostly that's the kind of rebels that we see in the world, which gives rebels a bad name too, which I sometimes even just showing up with unconditional love is being a rebel. With the way that people treat each other, the way that people are going about being towards one another in this world, you show up with unconditional love and you're already like pissing everybody off. You're making everybody feel uncomfortable Because here you are with something true, something real, and you walk around in your own light, and everybody around you notices, and it just lights up all the darkness within them, which is not your fault. Just keep going in unconditional love anyway. But that's the kind of reactions that can come out of your inner work. And it's a lot of the thoughts in the thought space. Feeling deserving. Wheel of Fortune. That is trusting the timing of the universe. Trusting the timing of the universe. Trusting the unfolding that you see around you. I make decisions without pressure. If you stand up against authorities that are not valuing internal growth, and you're standing up against them and you say, I don't believe that you're doing the work. I think you should be doing the inner work, because that's how you grow. That's how people change. That's how you become more godlike, or more of the divine, more spiritually aligned, or how you want to call it. Making decisions without pressure and working with the internal passion, the internal drive, the internal divine force that is already within you. Your soul already knows it. I know when I talk about it, you can relate to it. You know it. You know who you are within yourself, and all these layers of what you should do or could or have to do, or what people told you to be. Like, all of that is just dressed up around you, and you are the core soul in there. And I know that you can recognize. So we have someone showing up. What do you value? I would ask this person, what do you value? What are some important values in your life? Maybe you can find 5 values or whatever, and then you find 5 values that you hold dear to your heart, and you write them down. And now these are your guiding force. These are your when you have to make decisions, which we always do. It's life. There's always going to be something you have to make a decision on, this or that. When you have to make a decision, you can make the decision based on your values. And when you make your decision based on your values, you show up as someone who is authentic and have integrity within yourself. And so I take great care of what I value. And so first you have to know what it is that you value. What is it that you value? And how can you take care of that? Maybe there is a retreat around you, or maybe there is something around you that you can take part in that is going to help you to quiet the mind. Perhaps there is a course, online course. Perhaps there is something that you can take part of that is going to help you quiet the mind. Maybe there is a meditation class somewhere in your community. Maybe there is something going on around you where you can actively learn how to tune out your thoughts. Your thoughts are taking probably half of your vitality is disappearing, literally. I'm laughing, it's not funny, but I'm laughing anyway, because that's just what I do sometimes. But thinking is doing. So if you think about it, that you sit there and you think all day long, I'm just gonna sit here and think for a while. Okay, you're not moving and nothing is happening, but there you are, spending all this energy on make-believe, making stories up in your head, trying to put things together and make things seem right. And so it gets confusing like that. Life becomes overwhelming and confusing. So there you are. Take charge of what do you value? Like, what are some values that are important to you? These can be your guidance system. When you have to make choices, and you don't want to make choices based on what everybody else is expecting you to do, because that's just their conditioning, and that's their, it could be any kind of things, but you don't want to worry about that. You just want to worry about making the decision. without the pressure. Don't worry about what other people is gonna say. They don't have to live your life. They haven't lived your life. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know why you are making the choices that you make. If they had courage, or if they wanted to know the truth, they would ask you. Or they would know it because if they looked within themselves and their soul, which also can recognize everything. Everybody has the soul, and the soul can recognize everything. But once you start talking about this to the soul, the ego comes in, and the ego is going to be terrified, because now the soul, if the soul comes out, the ego must take second. Now your soul is rising up, your ego is going to have to take second place. Ego is not going to do that. Ego is going to fight everything it can to stay where it is at. And so it's challenging to break through the cycle of your thinking and the conditioning. It's challenging, but it's beautiful journey, and everybody can do it, and it's the most freeing, liberating experience that you can do. So I highly recommend it. This is why I want to do these videos every day, to remind myself and to remind you that we are souls on this journey to enlightenment, on this journey to freeing ourselves from all the shackles that is holding us back in one way or another. And we're here on planet Earth with all the means, everything that we need to burst out of that, and to find inner peace, to find true happiness, to find vitality, and to find passion, and to find everything that drives you to be a part of the divine. I mean, hello, wouldn't you rather? Or would you rather think that you find the divine in a Porsche over there, or maybe in a gold watch over there? No, you're not going to find anything of value in there. It's just going to be a little hug to the ego. Look, ego, look, we got that. Oh my goodness, we got some more stuff. That's great. Now, 5 minutes later, you're gonna be okay. Now though, now I got that. Now I'm feeling miserable again, because here I am in my ego, and that made me feel a little bit powerful in 5 minutes. So what am I gonna do now? Now I gotta get something else. That would be the ego. The soul, however, the soul would be making different choices. The soul would be not needing all of that. The soul would be living in a different way, making different choices. And so figuring out your values. What are your 5 top values? How can you make decisions based on those, so that you know that you are on your course where you want to go? And recent past, you are also experiencing a need to make a choice. I think this 2 of Swords is just make a decision. A good leaders have to make decisions all the time. It doesn't matter if you don't have any people in your life, or if you have to be a good leader of yourself too, and stand up for what you believe in, and stand up for yourself, and show yourself that you are a trustworthy person, and learn to within yourself that you can trust your mind, you can trust your body, you can trust your soul. And if you can find that inner trust, then now you can start reaching out and being an influencer in the world around you. Making good choices, whatever you choose, trust in the outcome. And sometimes we think that we need a little bit extra to do this or that, or we need a little bit of this to be able to do that, or we need a little bit of this. We're not quite right. It's not quite there yet. I'm not quite ready yet. I'm not quite this yet. Sometimes that holds true, and sometimes it's just an imaginary thing that we made up in our ego. And so figuring out which one it is, and if you have something that you need in order to prosper more, like if you have the life pie, you have your income, you have your family, you have your base, like your foundation, your safety, you have your social circle, you have your hobbies, you have all these things, different things that you want to put into your life pie. And once you have these pieces put together, now you can, and that might be something that you know that you would like to have more of in your life as a resource, then you can go do that and take care of that and make sure that you have it, so that you can move forward with confidence. And also be aware so this is, I choose my battles carefully. This is also about, like, your soul would not get drawn into the drama. Your soul wouldn't fall for the manipulation, and your soul wouldn't believe in everything that it saw with its eyes, because your soul knows that people are very good at being cunning, and people are very good at displaying certain scenarios that they would like to see for you, and they mirror you, they do all kinds of weird stuff. So However, your soul would know that that is not your battle. It's not your battle to go in there and to figure out other people's schemes or what they're doing. It's not your battle. Soul knows that when soul meets soul, they are good. Like ego meets soul, it's going to be not good. Like it won't fit. And so choose your battles carefully. Be more careful in what you choose to engage in. If you have people around you and they're going to be like, I think so-and-so is doing this and this, and they're trying to bait you, and there you are sitting and you be like, and your thoughts go, oh wow, really? I didn't know that about so-and-so. Is that really true? Do you think they did this? And then you go into it. Now you're choosing some completely irrelevant battle to go into in your mind to figure out between your imagination and somebody else's imaginations, and between your assumptions and somebody else's assumption. Now you're going to have a conversation about that and talk about that and be all feeling better about that, which is all just kind of made up. And so choose your battles carefully. Where do you place your energy? Where do you place your focus? What are your 5 top values? How can you work your way around all the distractions and the temptations? And the temptations, the higher up you come, the better the temptations are going to be looking or seeming or be perfect for you. So standing your ground, making choices with your values, and moving forward. And if you are working, if you're like stuck, if you are kind of a rebel, showing up and stepping up in a different way, a way that people not usually do, and so you're kind of breaking the norm in a way. So then when you do that, it can be difficult to trust your ideas. It can be difficult to trust your direction. And now you're showing up as someone who does not really trust your own direction, your own ideas, which I understand that completely. It's difficult to find complete faith in what you are doing when you don't have the people confirming or showing up for you and confirming and lifting you up and all that stuff. If you don't have that, it's going to be difficult to trust your own ideas and direction. Then just work on that. That might be one of the things that you need to work on in order for you to flip yourself around, so you can be understanding that you have everything you need to prosper, because you want this Queen of Pentacles in your thought realm. You want to be thinking that you have everything that you need, because you do. You do already have everything that you need to prosper, if you only believe it. So that's why this card is showing up in a reverse. You are showing up as someone who has all the ideas. You have all the resources. You have everything that you need to do something that you're planning or plotting on. And now you just have to convince yourself of your own message. Convince yourself of your own message, and then you can go out and present your message. Emperor, other people see you as someone who is already making empowered choices. So that's a good thing to know. Like, even if you feel uncertain, or even if you feel like you cannot always trust what you're doing because you're wading your own water in a way. And so other people already see you as someone structured, making empowered choices, and being direct and being assertive and standing your ground, which is a good way to be seen. And also, when they see you making empowered choices, and those empowered choices are going to be choices that are based on, what are your 5 top values? What is it that you want to bring into the world? And how are you going to stand up in this world that is so many things astray in this world? How are you going to stand up and be something that makes a difference? Trusting your own ideas and trusting your own direction is detrimental. That might be the one thing, besides putting down the 5 values that you really honor, and this is how you want to make your decisions based on. Then the other thing that is, you have to find it within yourself. You have to make affirmations. Put affirmations everywhere around in your house where you are worthy. I am trusting the process. I'm trusting my decisions. I am trusting my intuition. I'm trusting. I am making easily choices. I'm making choices easily. it's easy for me to make the right choice based on my decisions. It's easy for me to, and then you make all these affirmations that you, when you see it around your house, you speak them out loud. So that every time you do that, and if you do that for like 3 weeks, every time you see the freaking note, then you put sticky notes everywhere with little affirmations that you can, I trust my ideas and my direction. I know that I know that my ideas are valid and my direction is a good one. And so if you start to trust in these things, now you can release yourself from these self-inflicted binds, because the hopes and fears is mostly in our head. It's mostly in our head, and it's not necessary to hold on to the unnecessary doubts and the difficulties. And also, like, trust what the universe is bringing me. Excuse me. I sometimes with my physical body or workouts, I am asking for healing. I want to be balanced. I want to be aligned. And I want to feel complete. And I want to be able to be present in my body. Which for many years, I was living up here. My soul was living up here. I was completely disconnected from my body. And I had no sense of my fingers or my feet or anything. I was living up in here, and that was it. Completely disconnect. And so for me to find my way back into my body, it has taken a lot of exercise. It's taken a lot of attention, awareness, being aware, being with my movements again. And also like asking, what can I do to better my condition? What can I do to feel better about myself? What can I do? Once you start asking these questions, then spirit is going to bring you, universe is going to show you things that would be beneficial for your healing, for you to become more present in your own body as well. And so if you all of a sudden you ask that prayer and then you see on a poster somewhere like a Qigong class or Tai Chi over there, or maybe yoga, or somebody starts talking to you about something, then these are directions that if you go there, it is going to help you with so many things that you didn't even know about before you went there. So listening and trusting whatever the universe is bringing to you is going to make you a rebel of the light. And you are going to walk your own path. You're going to stand your own ground. You're going to know that you're making the good decisions based on your values. And that's a very good, certain feeling of comfort to be in. Voyage, and then travel. Over the sea and the moon. Do that internal travel, like internal travel within, like be adventurous, travel within. This is like the fish like flying over the water, and so the fish is supposed to be like in the water, the emotions, the water, the moon, it's hidden. And so you want to be your emotion. You want to be able to feel your emotion. You want to be able to be in your body and feel the sensations on your skin and in your toes. And you want to be mindful and be present within yourself so that you can, so take that journey from, if you are like me, was outside here, I wasn't really paying attention to my hands or my feet or anything. And so if you're like that, like me, then maybe you need to take, or maybe you could. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to. It's a free will. But if you wanted to be adventurous, and if you wanted to bring something new into your life, then take that little journey inside and take that little journey within yourself and discover all the richness, all the beautiful stuff. And it's just like some hurdles to overcome, but for the most part, it's a very, very beautiful journey. Esther and Abraham Hicks says, with a determination to feel better, with a determination, you have to make a choice and a determination to feel better. With a determination to feel better, you could change the subject and therefore find other thoughts with better feeling vibrations. But vibrational shifting is usually a gradual process. In fact, a continual attempt in defiance of the law of attraction to try to jump vibrational ranges is a major factor in the feelings of discouragement that eventually cause people to conclude that they really do not have control of their own life experiences. So we're putting too big of a jump. Like if you're expecting to be full of no feelings today and then be full of gratitude tomorrow, you're going to have to work on these things gradually. You're going to have to start to open up a little bit again. Maybe I'm safe enough now to start feeling again. And then start there and start to nudge yourself and bring yourself towards it and ask, like, how can I go from feeling nothing and going towards feeling gratitude and opening up my feeling channels again? And lo and behold, here comes the universe, going to show you everything. It's a beautiful journey. And the beautiful light in me, it honors, respects, and loves the same beautiful light in you. And until next time, namaste.